the very bottom of Hamid Bey is today's Daf of. Okay, Rabbi Yochanan, the very bottom of Ki Avina Talya. Rabbi Yochanan says when he was a youth, Amina Milsa the Sheilna L'Savyo. I said something which was asked to the elders. Vishtaka Kavosi, and it turned out as I said. What? Chemas Utferia. We're at top of Vavam and Aleph. Chemas, we quote a psukim of different cities. Chemas Utferia. So Rabbi Yochanan said, when I was a youth, I said, Chemas is Tveria. V'lo manikro shmo Chemas, al shum chami Tveria. Because of the hot springs of Tveria, therefore Tveria is called Chemas, from Cham. Rekes Utzipori. Rekes is Sipori, which is up north. Lo manikro shmo Rekes, Yishum the medallia kiraksa din haro. Because it's high up, like the bank of river is above the river. Similarly, Sipori is high up. Kineris, what's Kineris? Kineris, we're not talking about the river, right? The sea. We're talking about, there's a city called Kineris, Zukinosar. Kineris is Genosar. Lomash Nikra Shmo Kineret. Why do we call it a Kineret? The Misiki Pero Kakola, the Kinri. The fruits there are as sweet as the what? As the sound of a harp. That's how sweet the fruits are. Omar Rovo, Mikol Lamandi Omar Rekes Laf Tverye. So according to Rabbi Yochanan, it says Chemas is Tverye. So Rava says, does anybody hold Rekes is not Tverye? Not Chemas, but Rekes is Tverye. He's arguing. Why? And Rava brings proof. Well, he says, Rava lived. Where did Rava live? Rava lived in Bavel. In Bavel. He says, if somebody would die in Bavel and they would take his remains to itself for burial, what would the eulogizers say? When they would say a hesped, what would they say? And they would bring him to Eretz Yisrael. What would the Sapadonim say in Eretz Yisrael, the eulogizers? He was raised in Sheshach. Sheshach is Bavel. V'she'em lo berekes, and his renown is in Rekes. V'chimaski arona lohosam, and when his remains would arrive in Eretz Yisrael, Sapti lihochi ove sridei. Aleph, 1 second. There you go. No, that's something else. Yeah. Sridei Yoshiv Rekes. They would say, the Sapnom would say, Sridim Yoshiv Rekes. The remnants who live in Rekes. Tzu v'kibla haruge omek. They should come and receive those who were killed in the valley, in the lower, because Bavel is low down. You go to Eretz Yisrael, you're going up. Kinoch nafshi Reb Zera. Reb Zera originally, where was Reb Zera? Reb Zera originally was a Babylonian, and he went. He fasted 100 fasts. He should forget his learning, and he went to Eretz Yisrael, right? But originally he was a Bavloi. So when Reb Zera passed away, Posel alei hausabdona. So this eulogizer said a eulogy, a hesped on Reb Zera. He said, Eretz Shinor Horo V'Yolodo. Yeah? The land of Shinar, which is Bavel, had become pregnant and gave birth. Eretz Tzvi, Eretz Yisrael is called Eretz Tzvi. Gidlo Shashuel. It raised its special ones. How does he translate Shashuel? Oy no Allah. Omer Rekes. Woe, Rekes said, Ki of the Kli Chamdosa. It lost its Kli Chamdosa. It lost its precious vessel. Reb Zera. It's Rekes. And where was Reb Zera? It was in Tveria. So you see, Rekes is Tveria, not Chemas is Tveria. Elo Omar Rovo. Okay, Elo Omar Rovo. Chemas. So what's Chemas? So if it's Rekes is Tveria, what's Chemas? Chemas Zuchame Gror. There are hot springs in Gror. Gror is the Philistine area. Rekes Utveria. Kineres Zuganosar. V'lam Nikrishmo Rekes. So if we're saying now Rekes is not Tveria, but Rekes is Tveria, why is it called Rekes? You hear this? Even those who are considered devoid of Torah knowledge, they're filled with mitzvahs the way a pomegranate is filled with seeds. Even the ordinary people are special. That's what's called Rekes. You hear this? Even the Rekonim Sheba, the empty ones, are filled with mitzvahs like the Rimon. One of Berwine's tapes. He has a whole history series produced about 40 years ago. So he has over there, he has a story, he speaks about Volozhin. With the Volozhin Shiva. So there was a person with Volozhin, he was the janitor. So he was a Jewish man, a religious man. He was the janitor of Volozhin. He would sweep up, clean up. So he himself would give a shiur in the shul in Volozhin. He used to pick up he wasn't learned, but he picked up bits and pieces from what he heard over when he was around the Beis Medrash sweeping up. So he became a gadol in the shul, and he had all these regular people sitting around. And he would say whatever the shiur was saying the same thing. Even Reikonim Shabo. When you come from a city like Rekis, which is Tverio, we have the greatest Amoroim there. Even the ordinary people, they were filled with mitzvahs. Rabbi Yirmi Omar Rekis Shmo. The name of the city was Rekis. Loma Nikra Shmo Tverio. So why was it called Tverio? Tverio is a reference. That wasn't the real name of the city. Sheusheves Bitura Shel Eretz Yisrael. You hear this? It sits in the navel. It's exactly the center of Eretz Yisrael. That's where Tverio is. Rav Omar Rekis Shmo. Rava says it's Rekis. That's its name. V'lom Nikra Shmo Tverio. Shetov Rioso. Because it's a beautiful city. When you look at it, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful city. I'm not sure. I was in Tverio many times. Okay? And one time it was a beautiful city. Oma Zero. Kitron. Kitron Zitzipori. There's a city called Kitron. That's Tzipori. V'lom Nikra Shmo Tzipori. Why is Kitron called Tzipori? Sheusheves broshor kitzipor. Like a bird is in its perch. This is what? It's up on top of a mountain. So therefore it's called Tzipori. Somewhere asks, Kitron Tzipori? You mean to tell me Kitron is Tzipori? Well, Kitron b'chelko shel Zvulun hu havoy. Kitron is in whose portion when Eretz was divided? It's the portion of Zvulun. The Chsiv, what does it say in the Pasuk? There's a Pasuk in Shoftim. Zvulun lo horish es yoshvei Kitron. Zvulun did not uproot. The people who lived in Kitron, they were from the 7 nations. They had obligations to Luschai Kol Neshama. They didn't uproot them from there. There's Yoshvei Nalol and the dwellers of Nalol. Vayeshiv HaKnani B'kirbo, and Azolta, the Knani was in their midst. Vayu Lamas, and they they taxed them, but they didn't uproot them from there. Here, so it's why the Chsiv Zvulun lo horish es Yoshvei Kitron ves Yoshvei Nalol uzvulun Misraim al Nidosov. This Zvulun is complaining about his lot, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him. Shenemar, Zvulun am chorov, am cheref nafsho, lomos. How does he explain to a cheref? Like he's disgraced to die. Matam, why they upset me? Zvulun is like consumed with being upset. Mishum Naftali Amromi, you saw there. Naphtali, what portion did he give? He had the best fields, the best vineyards. And what did he get? He will see Omar Zvul of their Kodesh Baruch Hu, Ribonu Shel Olam, La'achei nosat lev sodos ukromim. To my brothers, their portion, their fields, their vineyards. V'li nosat horbuk vos. I have mountains, I have cliffs. La'achei nosat le marotzos. You gave them land. V'li nosat yam nehoros. My portion goes into the city and the rivers. Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu answered, Zvulun, kulon tzrichen loch. All the shvatim, they need you. Why? The chalozon was only found for the tchelos only in the portion of Zvulun. Shenemar, amim har yikro. Where are the chalozon? Where do you find them? In the mountains. They come out of the sea and they go into the mountains. Usvuni tumuni chol. What is that? Tani Rav Yosef. Svuni is a chalozon. What it says? Svuni, sof means hidden. Tumune zu tris, it's a certain kind of fish. Rashi says it's tunita. It's a tuna fish. Okay? Chol, the sand in the portion of Zvulun is white sand. It's a quality sand. Zu schuchas levana. You make white glass, was very, very expensive glass, one of a kind of glass. That you can only make from the sand that was found in the portions. So everybody needs you. Anybody wants quality glass, they have to go to you. But how do I know that? People come, they take things without paying. They'll steal it from me. There they will bring zivchei tzedek. Anybody who takes it without paying, you take sand. They may not. They'll steal some sand. They'll go swimming and they'll take back a few buckets of sand with them. So he says, anybody who takes anything from your portion without payment, it's not going to work. Meaning when they blow that glass, it's not going to turn out to be anything. If they process that dye, it's not going to work. It's going to fail. But if kitron is sipori, amay misram midosov, v'hohavyu sipori milsad adifa tuva. Sipori was an exceptional quality location. So if kitron is sipori, which is the portion of Zvulun, what's Zvulun complaining about? Maybe because the other parts Eretz Yisrael had, it was Eretz Zavas Chol V'Dvosh. It flowed with milk and honey. And Tzipori doesn't have that. He says, I personally saw the Zavas Chol V'Dvosh of Tzipori. It flowed 16 miles square. That's how, to what degree there was Zavas Chol V'Dvosh. Maybe say it's much as it flowed, it wasn't on the level of his brothers. They had a greater degree of Zavas Chol V'Dvosh. Rabbi Chana said, named Rabbi Yochanan, I saw all the Chol V'Dvosh in different locations there in Israel, and if you combine them all together, it's 22 parsa. A parsa is 4 mil in its length. Upusi shisa parsi, and the width is 6 parsa. And if that's the case, if they had 16 by 16, that's a substantial amount of Zavas Chol V'Dvosh. What are they complaining? They were still preferred to have fields and vineyards rather than having tzipori, whatever it is. Dekanami, and he says you could deduce it that they would have preferred to have fields and vineyards. Naftoli Amrome Soder. They sit in the heights of the fields. They have the ultimate level of quality agriculture. Shmami no. So let's do some Rashi here. Lohorish, right where the lines get narrow. Lohorish is Yoshvei Kitron Shebo Lechelko. Hear this? Zvulun did not uproot the nations of in Kitron. He violated a law. It says you should not allow anybody to live, any of the 7 nations. To pay tax. You know, it's an income producing. Hashem says income, you should have killed them. They dealt him a hand which he wasn't interested in. Now Rashi says, Chalozin olim in hayam, the chalozin comes out of the sea, and it goes up in the mountains, Vitzovin, Bidomot Cheles, Nimka Bidom Yikorim, and it's expensive. I'm Harikro, Mikola Shvatim Yiskaptzu Laharecho, all the Shvatim will gather to your mountains, Likno Svune Tunecho, Svune Zuchalozin, Shudaber Choshuv Sofun, it's something very valuable. Choshuv Lashon Bra, Sofun means something which is esteemed, which is revered. Tris, what's trick? Dag Shekorin Tunina. Tris is a certain type of fish that's called tunina, tuna fish. Okay? Schus Levon Hayosim in Achol, Kedeomer V'Yitzi Shabbos, V'chol Shel Zvulun Choshu Mishar Cholos. The sand that you find, the portion of Zvulun, has better quality sand to make glass. And it's, the Gemara says in Brochos that when they would under the chuppah, they would break a glass. They would break a glass that's made of white glass that cost $400. That's what they would break under the chuppah. You know, today you take something that's worth about 5 cents. It's nothing. So they should feel the pain of the Churban Abayis. That's what they would do. But it says, what kind of glass they? It was Schuchas Levana, what we're talking about over here. So Mibadalsos, Losis Lodomim, he says, how do I know if people take? No, evidently there was an honor system. How do I know if people take without paying? Because it's not going to succeed. The process, just as you can't bring a korban, which is stolen, the tcheles, which is stolen, it's not going to work. If they should take as much as a penny's worth of chalosan without payment, the skalta tzvia, the dyeing process is not going to work. Nothing's going to happen. Now, why is Eretz so called Eretz Zavas Chol V'Dvosh? How does it flow with milk and honey? So Rashi says, Ho'izim ochlim teinim. The goats eat the figs off the tree, and now figs have nectar in it. V'advash notif mehen. So, and it drips as they eat it off. The nectar, they're so saturated with nectar, it drips onto the ground. V'acholav zov min ha'izim, and the milk drips out of the udders of the goats. So you have a flow, a river flowing, the nectar dripping out of the dates, out of the figs, and the milk coming out of the udders of the goats. V'naskim inachol, it's like a river. That's the zovas chol v'dvosh. Okay? Cholav is milk. What else is cholav? Yain lavon. Lovin, like Yaakov's father, Lovin. Okay. Okay, further. Is it specifically for the goats? Goats. He says tainim. Tainim is figs, not dates. Okay, further. Omre bavo, the ikron. It says it's a pasuk. Ki ato azuva tier. Va'ashkelon lishmamo. Hashem says you will be abandoned. Ashkelon will be desolate. Ashdod batzorayim. Yigurashua. They will drive out the people in Ashdod. The Ekron teoker. The city of Ekron will be uprooted. Ekron. We'll see in a moment. It was a Roman city. Ekron teoker zu kesri basedom. This is Caesarea. Ekron is Caesarea. Why was it called Caesarea? Because great tzaddikim lived there. Because that was a Roman city. It was the Caesar city. She Yosheves ben Acholos. This? It says it was planted among the sands where Jews were. The Hoiso Yosei Tekur B'Yisrael B'mei Yevonim. And it was a peg which was like a thorn in our sides. It was a thorn in our sides. Ukshegovra Malchus Beis Chashmonoi V'Notzchum. And when the kingdom of Chashmonoi, Tamei Chanukah, they were victorious, Horikornos Achidas Migdal Shir. They changed the name of the location. It was no longer called Ekron. It was called Achidas Migdal Shir. Why was it called Achidas Migdal Shir? Kfusha means the capturing of Migdal Shir, of the Migdal, the Tower of Shir. I removed blood from his mouth, Ukshikutzav Beishinov, and the rodents from between his teeth. V'nishar gamhu le'lokenu, and even he will remain faithful to God. Hasirosi Reb David Piv Zubeis. This is a location of idolatry. Zubeis Karyo Shalem. This is their temple of idolatry. V'shikutza ben Shinov Zubeis Gal Yoshalem. Also, it's a pejorative way to refer to their idolatrous temples. V'nisha Gamhu Le'lokenu. What does that mean? Elu Batikniyos Beit Medrosho Shebedom. This is referring to the shuls and the study halls in Edom. V'yuka'aluf b'Yehuda v'ekron kivusi. What is the Elu Titros Karkusos? These are the theaters and other amphitheaters. Shebedom Shasinu Sar Yehuda Lamid B'Torah L'Rabim. At the end of time, the locations where they did everything abominable there, they could be converted to become, right? You'll have a Knessia Gedolo. They'll be teaching Torah publicly in these locations. Omre b'Yitzchok, Leshem zu Pamayis. No, when it says in the pasuk Leshem is Pamayis. That's that's the mouth of the Jordan. The Jordan flows from Pamayis. There's a cave. You ever take the tour up there? It's till Dan, up in the portion of Dan. There's a cave, and you see the water churning out of this cave. That's the source. That's the source of all water for the Yarden. Flows out of there. So Leshem Zupais, take a look in Rashi. Shemsham Yardin Yotzkiram Mardan Yardin Yotzim Mors Pamayis. The Yardin flows from the cave of Pamayis. Okay? Ikron Teoker Zukeser Basromi. Ekron, we say it should be uprooted. This is the Kesri, which is the Roman city. That's where the kings would gather. That was the metropolis of kings. Kesri was the metropolis where kings was, the city of kings. Ikadamri Demarbi Bo Malchi. Here they would mentor kings there. They would mentor them there. Ikadiyami demukmi mino malki. Yeah, this they would appoint the king. When they would gather, they would have a group of like a senate, and they would choose the king. That's where they would choose it. The mukmi, and then they would install him there. Kes Yerushalayim, Caesarea and Yerushalayim, two cities. Caesarea was a Roman city. Yerushalayim is a Jewish city. If they would tell you Caesarea was destroyed, Yerushalayim was destroyed, don't believe it. You hear this? Yoshu Shteim. If they say both are settled, Al Tamin, don't believe that either. Chavra Kesri v'Yoshu Shalayim. Kesri was destroyed, and Yerushalayim was settled. Chavra Yerushalayim v'Yoshu Kesri. Or Yerushalayim was destroyed, and Kesri is settled. Tami, that you could believe. Shem Amar. What does it say in the pasuk? Amale hacharovo. I would fill in what's destroyed. What does that mean? In Malaya Zu, if one is established, is full, functional, Zu Chareva. The other one's destroyed. Chareva Zu. In Malaya Zu, and if this one is full and functional, Zu Chareva. Chareva Zu, the other one is destroyed. It's the beginning of this pasuk. Raishu the Kroy, Yan Omer Tzur al Yerushalayim. Amalek Tzur is referring to the Romans. The Romans said, I will fill in what's destroyed. Achshav Asmale Michurvosa. Now that Yerushalayim is destroyed, now I'm empowered because of their destruction. Because the Jews are destroyed, now Rome is empowered. Rav Nachman Yitzchak Mihocha Ulom Elom Yema. It's the bracha which what Shem had said to Rivka when she was pregnant. She had the agitation in the womb, right? She was pregnant with twins. One will overpower the other. Ulom Elom Yema. Vam Rabbi Yitzchak. Now this next Gemara you have to understand. It says Yuchan Rosha Balomei Tzedek. What does this mean? This pasuk is Tes. This pasuk is Yeshaya. Yuchan Rosha Balomei Lomat Tzedek. There's the Chochos Ya'avel Ubal Yireh Geos Hashem. What is it referring to? Omed Yitzchak L'nei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have to understand this. Yitzchak Avinu says to Hashem, Ribon Shalom Yuchan Esav. Hear this. Be gracious to Esav. Esav was the favorite son of Yitzchak. He loved him, right? He says, be gracious to Esav. I mean, this Yitzchak Avinu, we'll see in a moment, because he didn't appreciate how bad he was. He didn't understand how evil Esav was. Amalo Roshu, yeah? He says, how can I be gracious? He's a Rasha. Hashem says to Yitzchak, he's a Rasha. How can I be gracious to him? Amalo Balomeit Tzedek. He says, you mean to say there's nothing good to say about him? Ein Odom Yochel Hamidol Tzedek. Nobody can say a good word about my son Esav. Omalo bears the Chochos Yeol. He says, you know why? Because in the land of the Chochos Yeol, that means he was going to destroy Yerushalayim. Klom Osid Lahachriv es Eretz Yisrael. This Esav, he's going to destroy Eretz Yisrael. So what good could be said about him? Omalo, hear this? He said, when Yitzchak heard that ultimately Esav's descendants are going to destroy Eretz Yisrael, Omalo came Bal Yireh Geus Hashem. He should not merit to see the greatness of Hashem, because Yitzchak finally understood what his son Esav was. Omer Rabbi Yitzchak says, "Ma'idich sev al titin Hashem avoye resh rosha Yud al ti ma'yove mavoye rosha." You hear this? Don't give the desires to the Rasha. The Navi says, do not, David is saying, do not give in to the desires of what's the desire of Esau? To destroy us, to devour us. Zmama al tofek. Don't take out, Zmama, an animal control it. You will put a ring in its nose, because the nose is most sensitive. Don't take the ring out of his nose. Usually Zmama means his muzzle. Do not take off that muzzle. Zmama al tofek, Yeromoselo. Rashi says, I'll send him in the Chirov. You have this ring. Zomam kimin tabas barzel. Zomam, it's similar to a muzzle. It's a metal ring. Shenosim b'chol meshel nako. Mshechas v'obto choska eina mishtamiris. And because this animal is so powerful, unless you have that ring in its nose, you can't control it. So David is being mispal. Don't take that ring out of the nose of Edom. They're uncontrollable. Zomam al tofek. Who are we referring to? Zu Garmamya. Yeah, this is a question in Girsa. This is Garmamya. Shalom. This is Germania. So there's a gears in the back. It's referring to Germania. The gears says Germany. The Nazis in Malshemam. They're Edom. That's Amalek. Shel Molehin Yotzin. If you let them go out to take over the world, Bachrivens Kolol, they will destroy the world. This is the fierceness of this Germania. They're from Edom. These are the sons of Edom. Bomalo Rav Chomer Brachanino, Tlasme Ketiri Tago, Iso, Iko Begermamyo Shel Edom. Yeah, the 300 princes who wear crowns in Germania of Edom. In Germany, Bavaria, you had all these vassal states. Each one had a castle, and they all had crowns. So the 300 princes who wear crowns in Germania Shel Edom. Plasme of Shisin Chamisha Marzavi, Iko, Beromi, Ubebavel. You hear this? And the 365 dukes, Marzaz mean dukes, in Rome and in Bavel, and every day they go out to engage with one another, like in a battle. And they kill one. I'm not sure who goes out. The princes go against the dukes, or it's among themselves. Because we're speaking about you have Edom, you have Bavel, and you have Rome. Who goes out against who to fight? And they kill one every day. Huh? What does it say? How does it? No, that's later. We didn't get to yet. Before. No, it says they go and engage with one. They kill every day. They kill one, and then they go and they. And then they become. They want to establish who is going to be the king. Yeah, but who's killing who? The dukes are fighting with these princes. They fight among themselves, the crown princes. And what do the dukes do? Just to tell you the dukes there. Okay. Now there's a famous Gemara which we always quote. Rabbi Yitzchak says, the person says he toiled in Torah, he didn't come upon it. Al-Tami, don't believe that person. Lo yogaiti motzasi. Person says, I didn't toil, I came upon the truth of Torah. Al-Tami, don't believe that person. Yogati umotzasi. I did toil and I came upon it. Tamin, that person you could believe. Hani mili b'divrei Torah. What we're speaking about now, this is speaking in Torah study. Amasu maton siyata d'shmaya. Person says, I worked day and night and I didn't succeed. You can believe him. Why? Because whether you succeed or not in business, in commercial life, that's up to Hashem. You have divine assistance, you succeed. You don't, you could work 29 hours a day. It's not going to help you. Siyata d'shmayahu. Siyatuhu min shmaya. What about divrei Torah l'man elach l'chadudi? When we speak about applying, so that's to sharpen your mind. That's to understand it. But you have a retentive memory to remember the text. That's siyata d'shmaya. To be able to retain the text, it's memory. Sharpness of mind, that's application. Depth of understanding. But to remember the text, that's ugmi girsa, to know the proper text, that's siyata d'shmaya. Omer Rabbi Yitzchak im ro'iso Rosha shashol misachekes lo. If you see a Rosha that the hour is smiling upon him, he has the Midas touch. Whatever he does, he succeeds. Al tiskorabo. Don't spar with him. Don't start in with him. Shenemar, Pasuk Etilim, Al tischar b'mereim. Don't start in with the mereim, with the bad ones. Stay away from him. V'lo od ela she'droch matzlichen. Not only should you start with him, whatever he does, he succeeds. The Russia. Shenemar yochilu drocha b'choleis. Right? He always succeeds. Continue. V'lo od ela shezocha b'din. Even if he's wrong, he goes to court, he wins the case. Shenemar moro mishpatecha minegdo. His mishpah will be moral, will be exalted, and against anybody who's opposed to him. Lo od ela sharoa b'sonov. He even sees the downfall of his enemies, the Russia. Who are the enemies of Russia? The downfall of the tzaddik. Shenemar kitzorov yofiach behem. Those who cause him pain, he will just blow them away. Like you blow away straw, that's the way he'll blow away. This is the Russia shomesachekeslo, where God is smiling, the hour is smiling upon him. So, how could you say that? How could you say that what? You shouldn't start it with the Russia. That's what David is saying. Rabbi Yochanan said, "Mutal is goris berushoim b'ol mazeh." You're permitted to spar with the Rush, go up against the Rush in this world. Shenemar, Ozvei Tori Halu Resha. Who praises evil? The ones who abandon Torah. The Shomri Torah, but those who observe the Torah, Yizgoru. You should engage with them. You should engage with the Russia. V'tanya B'tsoy Bar Mosnoma Mutal is Goris B'Shom B'L Mazeh. Reb Dostoy says in the Brisa, you're permitted to spar with them, to go toe to toe with them in this world. V'mlachso Odom Loma Al Tiskum. Maybe a person with chance to say, you know what it means? Al Tiskum Mereim Al Takani Bosi Avlo. He says, you know what it means? It means Al Tischor B'Mereim Al Takani Bosi Avlo. Don't be envious. It doesn't mean that. It means don't be envious of those who do evil. Loshin Ein Loshin Giroi El Shlo Mochos. I mean, don't assume their behavior. It's a misinterpretation. You know what? A person who's afraid to start up the rush because he has sins, that's the one who interprets the pasuk that way. Ela tischum reim liuskum reim means don't be envious of the evil to be like them. You know, a person says, you know, in his mind he fantasizes, he wishes he could do what the Russia does, except because his own self-respect he doesn't do it. Al tischum reim liuskum reim. You shouldn't be envious of the evil to be like the evil. And don't be jealous of those who do evil to be like those who do evil. Your heart should not be envious of the sinners. Dalit. Only to fear God. But how do we reconcile? Before it says that you should not start up with a Rosh Hashanah. And here, Rabbi Yochanan says that you're permitted. You should go head to head with the Russia. So the says, "Ibo same hob b'mili day hob mili d'shmaya." Yeah, hobili d'day hob mili d'shmaya. If it's on a personal level, not things which relate to God, stay away from him. You have a business deal with him, stay away from him. Right? You want to sue him, don't waste your time. But what about the Russia is going? He's a bad influence on the community in terms of spirituality, then you go to war with him. So we're talking about two different areas, whether it's material or it's spiritual. Both are we're speaking regarding material. If a person's an absolute tzaddik, he doesn't have to worry about this Russia. But if you're not an absolute tzaddik, then you have to worry because you have a certain degree of sin. Those who, why should you gaze? We're saying, bogdim, those who defy, who are betrayers, tachrish, bebela Rosha tzaddik bimenu. We're saying to Hashem, why are you watching how the Rosha, he swallows the tzaddik who's more than him? So what does it mean, tzaddik bimenu? The pasuk say, when the Rosha swallows, what's tzaddik bimenu? Tzaddik bimenu b'lei. Which tzaddik could he swallow up? The one who's more of a tzaddik than he is, than the Rosha. But tzaddik gomer, but a tzaddik who's an absolute tzaddik, ain't no b'leia. That tzaddik you can't. So that's how we reconcile. The pasuk that says don't start him with them, two verses, not an absolute tzaddik. He's a good person, but he's not absolute. Absolute, then you go to battle with him. You don't have to worry about the Russia. Okay? Ibo same another way to reconcile. If the hour is smiling upon him, even if you're tzaddik gomer, stay away from him. You can't go there. You have to wait. Time passes, then you can go after him. Amar Ula Italia Shel Yovan. There was a location called Italy's usually that's Rome. There was an area called Italia Shel Yovan. It was the Greek Italy. What is Italia Shel Yovan? Zekrach Godel Shel Romi. No, he says it was a large city, Roman city, even though it was called Shel Yovan. Tlasme a parsa, tlasme a parsa. Yeah. It was 1,200 miles by 1,200 miles. One city. That's how large the city was. A mile doesn't mean a mile. It means 2,000 amos. V'yeshba, and in this city, yeshba shin samachei shvokim, kiminyin mosachamo. There are 365 markets, which correspond to the 360 days, 5 days of the year. The kodshim called the smallest of the 365 markets, shamochre office. They sold birds. The smallest of the markets. Listen to this. And how large was that market? It was 16 miles by 16 miles. Did you ever hear, they on the radio, they advertise, what's it, Ken Stewart? He says right now in the middle of turkeys, there are like miles of turkeys all around them. Thanksgiving, that's what he talks about. So it was Shukshel Ophos, 16 miles by 16 miles worth of birds. Okay? Umelech Soed B'chol Yom Bechelman. The king, the Roman emperor, every day he would have a meal in one of these markets. There were 365, so there's one for every day. Hadorba, somebody who lived in that city, Api Shena Noladbo, even though he wasn't born there, Not to Prospe Samel, who would receive a gift. Okay? Vanoladbo Api Shena Dorbo, and somebody who was born there, even though he wasn't living there, also Not to Prospe Samelech. Ushloshes Alfe Bebani Yeshbo. Yeah, there are 3,000 bathhouses in the city. In this Italio Shel Yovan, 300 bathhouses, 3,000. And you had 500 windows because of the bathhouse, the smoke. Does the smoke stay? To filter the smoke out of the city. There were 500 windows, which the smoke would go out through those windows. Sido Echad Yom, one side of the city was the ocean. Sido Echad Horim, one side Ugvos with mountains, was a mountainous area. Sido Echad Mechitza Shel Barzel, another side was an iron wall. But Sido Echad Chulsis Metzula, and the other side was Chulsis Metzula, means sand and rocks. So it was pretty much, it was fortified from all sides. This is what? This is Krach Godlu Shel Romi. So how many markets were there? There were 300. There were 300, it was 300 3 parshas, 365 markets. They had the bird market was 16 miles by 16 miles. The king every day of the year would eat, would dine in another market every day. Okay? So he was busy. Chorus of Megillah. Chorus of Megillah, Ba'ad Rishon. Hear the story. We have, if you have a leap year, you celebrate Purim the second month. But when did you realize it was leap? Let's say they celebrated Purim on the first month, and let's say on the 17th they decided we're adding a month, we're going to have a leap year. Do you have to celebrate Purim over again? You already celebrated the first month. Because when you celebrate, you wouldn't realize this will be a second month. So that's Mishnah. Koro es ha-Megillah ba'ad Rishon. Then they decided to extend the year. Korin osa b'ad Sheni. They have to read it again. Even though they read it ad Rishon, right? You have to, the fruit baskets, they make a killing. This kind of situation. Same year twice. Ein bein ad Rishon ad Sheni. What's the difference between ad Rishon and ad Sheni? Elo kriyas Megillah Mattos Levyonim. That means, let's say you know in advance, there's going to be an ad Sheni. Ad Rishon on the 14th, 15th, there's no kriyas Megillah, there's no Mattos Levyonim. The second Adar, on the 14th and 15th, there is kriyas Megillah, it's Mattos Levyonim. Same thing. Hardly in you say the parshas, Shovin. Seems to be, but regarding, we have right before Pesach, we have parshas Shkolim, we have parshas Zochar, we have parshas Porah, we have parshas Chodesh, right? The 4 readings that we have before Pesach. Okay, but it seems to be the 4 readings that you do, we don't differentiate because this is the only difference is the reading of the Megillah and what and Mattos Levyonim. But it seems to be, but regarding to reading, you read they're both the same. It's not going like the Tanakam, we'll see in a moment. It's not going like Reb Lezer, Reb Yossi. The Tanya, Chorus of Megillah Ba'ad Rishon. They read the Megillah the first Adar. V'nis Abra Hashono, and then they added another month to make it into a leap year. Koronos Ba'ad Sheni. You hear this? So you read it, the Megillah again, in Adar Sheni. Why? Shkol Mitzvah Shenogos B'Sheni Nogos B'Rishon. Chutz Mikra Megillah. All the mitzvahs that you have in the first one, mitzvah Shenogos during the second one, you do in the first except for Mikra Megillah. Mikra Megillah you don't do. You hear? Meaning, what you did, no, which means if you already did it in the first, you don't see the second, except for Mikra Megillah. So let's say you read Parshas Chodesh, you did everything during the Parshas Zochar, you don't read it again during Adar Sheni. Mikra Megillah you have to do over. Okay? Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Yossi Omer, and Koronoso Ba'ad Sheni. No, you don't. You don't reread the Megillah. If you read the Megillah in Adar Rishon, one does not have to reread the Megillah in Adar Sheni. Why? It's called mitzvah shnogs b'sheni, nogs b'rishon. Because whatever it takes place during the second adar, you redo in the first. Of course, if you already knew in advance there's going to be an adar sheni, you don't do it adar rishon. But if actually you did it already adar rishon because you didn't know there was an adar sheni, you already yotzei. That's Rabbi Lezer Rabbi Yossi. Was about Rabbi Shimon Gamliel and Mishum Rabbi Yossi. No, afkoros ba'adar sheni. You read it again. It's called mitzvah shnogas ba'adar b'sheni ein nogas b'rishon. V'shovin behesped u'b'tainis shasum b'zeh b'zeh. But hesped and tainis, you're not permitted not adar rishon, even though your Purim is going to be adar sheni. You're not permitted to say hesped on the 14th and 15th, although you know it's not going to be Purim. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, Hain Tanakama, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Tanakama is saying the same thing, that the reading of the adar rishon is not valid; it has to be read again. Omer Papa say the parshas now. So what's the difference? The order of the parshas that we said. If you read all the 4 parshas the first month, you have to read the second. When should you read the 4 parshas the second month? However, the Ovad Barishon, Ovud. But if you read them in the first Adar, you don't have to reread them again in Adar Sheni. Bar Mikro Megillah, but Mikro Megillah, even if though you read it the first one, it has to be reread the second. The Abagav, the Kor Barishon, Kor B'Sheni. Rabbi Lezer Rabbi Yossi says no. Afilu Mikro Megillah Chat Chila Barishon. Shimglu says no. Even though you read, you have 2 Adars. When do you read Megillah? Adar Rishon. Shimglu says no. Afilu Pei Parshas, Kor Rishon, Kor B'Sheni. You have to reread it. So we have 3. Regarding Megillah, 2 of them agree that if you read it the first, you have to read the second. Rishim Galil says no. L'chatchila, you can read it the first month. No, you don't read it again the second month. The other one says no, that even if you read the Arba Parshas Shkolim, Parshas Zohar, Parshas Achodesh, right? It has to be reread again. Itanakamo Kasha Matonos. Reb Lezer Reb Yossi Kasha Nami Mikro Megillah. Reb Shimon Kasha say the Parshios. La'olam Tanakamo. Tana Mikro Megillah Huadin Matonis Levyonim. When it says Mikro Megillah, it also means Matonis Levyonim. The Abba will tell you, because as we said earlier, the poor, that when one of the reasons why you don't have Megillah on Shabbos is why? Because the poor, they wait for their alms. So if it's Shabbos, then they're not getting anything. So when you say Megillah, Megillah means Matonis Levyonim. Ibas L'olam Shemlil Mastisa Chashim Ochi Ktani. Mishnah's Ein Bein Arba Osor Shabbat Rishon. La Du Yodal Shad Sheni LeMikro Megillah Umatonis Holiyin Hesped Tainus Eves Shavin. Ilu said the parshas. We're not talking parshas. Reb Chia Bar Oven Reb Yochanan Hilsok Reb Shimon Gamliel. We rule like Reb Shimon Gamliel Shem Reb Yossi. Reb Yochanan. That's the way we rule. Like Reb Gamliel, who said the name of Reb Yossi. Yeah. That what? That even if you read the Megillah during the first month, it has to be reread the second month. Reb Chia Bar Oven Reb Yochanan Reb Shimon Gamliel Shem Reb Yossi. Reb Yochanan Shneim Kerechot Dorshu. What's the argument? Some say if you read the Megillah the first month, you don't have to read it again. Others say no, it has no value. It has to be read during the second month. But what's the basis of the machlokas? Since it's based on how to interpret the pasuk. It says in the Megillah, B'chol shana v'shana. We had this earlier, remember? Every year, year in, year out, you have to celebrate Purim as you did, every year. So Rabbi Lezer B'Yossi Savar, B'chol shana v'shana, Ma kol shana v'shana Adar Somach l'Shvat. What does Adar usually follow? What's the month that precedes Adar? Shvat. So if you read it during the second Adar, it's not the Adar that's preceded with Shvat. So therefore, what does Shana Shava tell me? It tells me you should read it during the first Adar, not the second Adar. Afkan Adar Somach l'Shvat. So if you have 2 Adars, when do you read the Megillah according to Reb Shimon Gamliel? According to Reb Lezer Reb Yossi, Adar Rishon, not Adar Sheni. Of course, it's always the Adar that follows Shvat. Reb Shimon Gamliel says no. Reb Shimon Gamliel says no. It's the second. Why? It's true, Adar may follow Shvat, but it also precedes Nisan. So if you have 2 Adars, which Adar precedes Nisan? The second Adar. So therefore, when should you read the Megillah? Adar Sheni. Afkan Adar Samach L'Nisan. Smar says like this. Bishlam Reb Lezer Reb Yossi Mistavra, but he says logically Reb Yossi is more correct. Why? Time of day Mavir ala mitzvahs. If factually the Adar always follows Shvat, that means you have to skip over the Adar that you normally read and read it the second. But we have a principle: we don't skip over a time where you could do something. My time yeah, Elo. Rishim Galil, my time, excuse me, Elo Rishim, my time, Omrev Tevi, time Rishim Galil, Misma, Gula, Gula, Odiv. Hear this? Because one adjustable is Gula to Gula. Nisan is Gula. Right? What's Pesach? It's Gula. And what was Purim? Also Gula. So if you have it during the first Adar, Shvat has no relevance to Gula. So if it's a choice, the first Adar, second Adar, you put in the second Adar. Because you're juxtaposing Gula to Gula. Purim is Gula and Pesach is Gula. Rebbe Loza Omer Time Rishim Gamliel. Why is it the second way? Hocha dechsiv l'kaim is higeres hapurim hazos hashniyo. Right? It says hashniyo. So hashenis, that means it should be in the second month. Then when you have 2 months, from l'kaim higeres hapurim, the Megillah is called higeres hashenis. So v'yitzchuk l'michtav hashenis, v'yitzchuk l'michtav hoshana v'shana. You need both to be continued.